Could you repeat that again?
I received the homework a minute late.
It's okay. It's okay. So, Jenny, did you didn't manage to read through it or not?
No, because it was so long, and besides, this is the type of time that my brain would fly away.
It's okay. It's okay, Jenny. We're gonna do it today. I'm gonna read with you. Okay. So we make sure that we understand. Okay. So let's have a look. Oh, sorry about that. Wait. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do the reading part. So we're going to do A. You're going to read A. I will read B. Okay. Then we're going to see what it is about to make sure that we understand. Okay. So can you read passage A for us?
Okay, so the race to reach 33 minus a ton for 64 days, 700 meters, 2,300 feet below the Bear Brown Mountains on the Antarctica Desert of Chile could be
Chile?
yeah.
Chile could be completed.
Chile could be completed as early as tonight. The chief engineer said this afternoon that within 24 hours of the chamber will have been reached. He added that bringing the miners out could begin in 3 days' time. 3 days challenges were born rescue shaft down through the layers of rock. Lawrence Goldborn, the mining minister, had announced yesterday how quickly the miners can be extracted once the shafts have reached the main depends on the careful inspection of the staff. 70 centimeters, 24 in,
Inch.
inch wide by video cameras. If the rock walls are deemed stable, the miners could be brought out one by one within another 2 or 3 days. It is estimated that it will take between 36 and 48 hours to bring them all out.
Okay, so let's just see what it is about. So the race to reach 33 miners, so they were in a hurry to reach 33 miners that who were trapped. In tone means they are trapped, okay, for 64 days, 700 meters below the Bear Brown Mountains. So it's in the mountains, okay, could be completed as early as tonight. The chief engineer said this afternoon that within 24 hours, the chamber will have been reached where they are. So the chamber is where the people are captivated. He added that bringing the miners out could begin in 3 days' time. So it will take about 3 days. 3 giant drills were boring the rescue shafts down through the layers of rock. Lawrence Goldborn, the mining minister, had announced yesterday how quickly the miners can be extracted once the shafts have reached the main depends on a careful inspection of the shaft. So they need to make sure that the shaft can move, there's enough space by video cameras. If the rock walls are deemed stable, so they determine it is stable, the miners could be brought out one by one within another 2 or 3 days. It is estimated it will take between 36 and 48 hours to bring them all out. Okay, so you understand what that passage is about, right?
Well, okay.
It's about the miners that are trapped. They need to get now all this machinery to get them out. Okay, so now they're determining how deep it is, how long it's going to take. So let's have a look at the second passage, passage B. Can you read that for us?
The miners have been trapped underground since August 5, more than twice as long as the other known survivor of a mining accident. A stream of rescue vehicles, satellite television trucks, and vehicles carrying journalists from around the world are heading up to the shallow bore in this lunar landscape that it will be center of attention over the next few days. In the past 48 hours, a special especially trained 16-man rescue team, first limited rescue capsules, a giant crane, winches, and much more equipment have been delivered to the Camp Esperanza as a makeshift settlement is known.
Okay, so what is this passage about?
I mean, like they use some equipment to try to rescue.
Yes, so they are talking about the type of equipment they need to get these people out. Okay, so this is all about and the skilled people. So they train 16 man rescue team. So it's a rescue team and the equipment they're going to need to basically get them out. Okay, well done, Jenny. Now let's have a look at passage C. Can you read that for us?
Once the shaft is safe, two volunteers, a mining expert from Codeco, the state-owned mining conglomerate, and Sergeant Roberto Rosico, 34, a naval medic and commander, will act as female guinea pig, descending to where the miners are in the Phoenix. A steel capsule specially made by the Chilean Navy and designed by them together with NASA engineers. It has been painted in the red, white, and blue colors of the Chilean flag. The phoenix is named for the mythical bird that rose from its ashes and is the biggest free custom-built capsule that will be used. It weighs 420 kilograms. Its exterior height is 6 feet 4 inches, 1.9 meters. The miners have been restricted to a diet of 2,000 calories a day to ensure that they can fit into the capsule, which is 53 centimeters wide. The capsule has oxygen tanks in the bottom part. It also has a camera, its no lighting system, and a sound system. It has two sets of retractable wheels around it.
Yeah, wheel around it.
One near the top and one near the bottom. To help it travel up and down the rescue shaft, the roof of the capsules contain LED lights. If something goes wrong during the rescue, the top part of the capsule can be released and the bottom two parts of the capsule would then be lowered back down. Should the capsule become jammed, the occupant can open the escape hatch in the base and go back down the shaft.
Okay, so now what is this passage telling us?
I mean, like the saying, um, the material of the shaft and how they work.
Okay, so the shaft, and what happens if something goes wrong? So what are the alternatives they can do if something goes wrong with using that? Okay. So, but very important, and also the kilograms that is allowed for people to move them up and down. Okay, the oxygen that plays a role. They have cameras, and once the LED lights goes off, then they know there's something is wrong with it. Then they can release the top, which will still allow them to use the shaft. Okay, now let's have a look at the next passage, passage D. Can you read that for us?
The castle will be lowered by a large crane at a speed of up to 3 feet 91 centimeters per second. The miners will be wearing a suit with a harness over it, which will allow them to be strapped to the center of the cylinder in an upright position of an estimated 20-minute journey to the surface. They will also wear oxygen masks, a pair of dark glasses to protect their eyes from exposure to desert sunlight, in a helmet which is especially adapted with microphone and a wide headset to enable them to communicate with the surface. Doctor will monitor the miners vital sign using information gathered from the biometric belt. They will be conduct prelim- pre-
Preliminary
prelim-
preliminary assessment.
preliminary assessment of the minor's mettle in physical health. The minors will be divided into three groups. The strongest will be the first to make the hazardous ascent to freedom in case the capsule hits problem. Then the weakest they will winch up one, one by one in the slender capsule, rising at just under a meter second, meaning that each ascent will take about 15 minutes. The entire rescue is expected to take 30 to 40 hours.
Okay, so basically that cylinder is going to allow one person to go in, and then they move them up out of the bottom part. Okay, and what was the passage all about?
I guess like a gear.
Yeah, the gear they need to wear, like, and make sure they're physically fit. The doctor's checking them. Okay, and what they need to wear. Yes, that was good. And then, can you read for us the last passage E?
As each man finally emerged, he was taken to the nearby field hospital wearing California-made sunglasses that filter out all the UV rays to protect his eyes. There the man will be given a thorough checkup, and if strong enough, they will be allowed to meet three relatives designed in advance.
Designated.
Designated in advance, the minors will then be flown by helicopter to the hospital in
For Papio?
Papio, where the whole floor has been set aside for them. They are not expected to remain there for at least 2 days.
Okay, so this is not what's happening afterwards once they have been removed, okay, from the mine. Okay, and what they're gonna, so three of their family members can go to them to see them, and then they're gonna do all the checks, the necessary checks to see if they're still in a good condition or if they need any medical attention. Okay, so now, Jenny, so all about it is these miners were trapped and in the mountain, and they needed to rescue these people. So what they needed, the gear, the people, the equipment they needed to get these people out, and how they're going to get it out, how long is it going to take. So we know what the whole story is about. So for question 14 to 15, okay, after reading those passages, okay, which paragraph states the following information? Okay, the miner situation is of global interest.
I guess A.
D. Okay. Of global interest. D or B?
I guess B.
Okay, so basically they're talking about around the world. So journalists from around the world are heading up to show. So these people are the ones that are really interested. So that is the answer for that one. Okay. So minor situation is global interest. And the length of the operation will be determined by the stability of physical environment. Which one is that?
E.
Is it going to be A or is it C?
I mean C.
Why do you say C? Okay. So the question they state here again, the length of the operation will be determined by the stability of the physical environment. The length of the operation. Okay. In 24 hours. Okay. Completed as early as tonight. Okay. They had announced yesterday. Okay, so estimated that it will take between
36 and 48 hours to bring them all out.
Okay, so that is passage A. Okay, so now that we have done that, so for questions 16 to 20, okay, complete the summary below. Choose your answers from the box below. Okay, so we have the words here: trapped, trained, reach, made safe, freed, guessed, designed, completed, carried, estimated, known, and restricted. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do this. So you're going to write down the answers for 16 to 20 choosing the correct vocabulary word.
However, if all goes well, they could be trained by making safe way. By
So take your time, read it first, and then you answer.
why is this all past simple?
Because I'm talking about the past.
However, if all goes well, they could be, I guess, trapped by.
Okay, so let's read it without the words. However, if all goes well, they could be by what emergency workers. Okay, so that means are they going to be trapped or are they going to be released? Okay, like being free. Okay, so we need to determine that workers in the next few days. So they want to get them out of there. Preparations are already underway. As soon as the miners have been the real rescue operation. Okay, so meaning when they get to there, the real rescue operation can start. Okay, especially what capsule will be seen. So is it a specific thing? Is it something that they've made? Okay, capsule will be sent down to retrieve. Remember that cylinder. Then one by one, it is what that bring all of the men back will take up to 48 hours. So we need to make it's like a determination of time. Okay, so you need to think about that. So which word would you say would be number 16?
I guess trapped.
However, if all goes well, are they going to be trapped if everything goes well, or are they going to be freed?
Freed.
Yes, they're going to be freed. Okay. And then the next one. So if they could be freed by what emergency workers? So remember, they said those people, that 16 people, what are they?
I mean, train.
Yes, well done. Okay. Right. And then the next one, preparations are already underway. As soon as the miners have been
Reach.
Yes, well done, Jenny. Right? The real rescue operation can start, especially what capsule? Remember, they made this capsule for them to go down and up.
Design.
There we go. Right? So down to retrieve them one by one. It is a what that bringing all of the men back up will take up to 48 hours.
Make safe.
Pardon? Can you say again?
Made safe.
It is a made safe that bringing no. It is when we want to determine the time. Like we want to more or less know what the time would be.
Is estimate.
Estimated. Yes. Well done. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Now, moving on to the next part. Now, use no more than 3 words from the passage to complete each blank in the diagram below. The phoenix. Okay, so here's the phoenix that they have designed. Okay, there's the cylinder. This is fitted with. These are the phoenix is made out of what? This contains what and what is the width? Okay. So this is, let me just quickly, tell me, Jenny, did you print out the passages?
I mean, I did, except that in my bedroom now. Cause I got received that from my dad a minute late.
It's okay. It's okay. Do you want to go get it, because it's going to be easier for you to read on the paper to get the words.
Why though?
So I can leave this on the screen for you.
You can leave it on the screen, except that I don't get what these mean.
Okay, you're not going to get it because you need those passages, those printed ones. Can you go fetch them quickly? Because you're going to need them.
Okay. Okay.
You got it. Excellent. Okay. So now let's have a look at this one. So 21. This is fitted with. Okay. So remember, now we're going to go to the description of how they describe this thing. Okay. So I'm going to help you with number 23. This is fitted with steel. Okay.
Okay.
Now, but number 26, these are what? Okay, remember they said this is going to be, let me just see here, 20, give me 1 second. Okay. Okay. Just see here. Oh, sorry. Jenny, that is wrong. The first one there. The phoenix is made out of steel. Okay, so we know that. Okay. So let's have a look at 22. So they are saying here, where is 21? 22. What is the width of this cylinder? It's a centimeters they give you. So in the passages, it mentions a certain amount of centimeters. Can you find that for us?
Give me a second.
No problem. So there's a certain centimeters that they mention in the passage.
1.9 meters.
It's a centimeter?
Nope. 53 centimeter wide.
Yes, that's the width, because we're looking at the width. Yes, 53. Okay, there we go. So number 22 is 53. But now we have to look at number 23. This is fitted with what? So the top is fitted with, remember they mentioned something about LED.
I mean, like, contain LED.
Your LED, the lights.
Does it count?
Okay, yes, that's correct. Okay, now, and in this part here, this contains what and what. Okay, so there are two things that they mention, okay, that it contains. something about escape, and something about oxygen.
Um,
Mm-hmm. There's something about oxygen and something about escape.
oxygen mask, a pair of dark glasses,
Okay, and
a helmet with a microphone and what headset. Yeah.
so it's oxygen tanks that they need to take down, and then and it has a escape hatch. So if something goes wrong, okay, they can still go back down. Okay, so those are the two things.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry, Jenny, you're gonna practice this in your own time again. Okay, now let's have a look at question 27. From the list below, choose the most suitable title for the whole of reading passage 2. Okay, write the appropriate letter A or D. So let's have a look at passage 2 again. There we go. So after reading that, which one would you say? Mine rescue on verge of breakthrough. Journalists and rescuers race to Chile. Engineer saves the day. The phoenix will rise.
C.
And why do you say B?
I mean, like, it does count. The name explain everything.
Yeah, so they went to Chile. Okay. Sorry, did you say B or D?
I mean, like, I said B.
B. Journalists and rescuers race to Chile. Yes. Okay, because they wanted to get the news on the miners. Okay, to be rescued. Well done, Jenny. That was really good. Now we are going to move on to the same as what we have done now. We are going to do with the next one. So we're going to read about high-tech crime fighting tools. Okay. So before we get into do it, I'm just going to see the questions. Okay, so we're going to do that. So let's read the passage once again to see if we understand it. So there we go. So can you read for us passage A?
Crime fighting technology is getting more sophisticated, and rightly so. The police need to be equipped for the
21st century.
Okay, 21st century. In Britain, we've already got the world's biggest DNA database. By next year, the state will be access to the genetic data of 4.25 meters people, right?
Yes, 4.25 meters people. Oh, sorry, million, not meters, million people.
Okay. One British space person and 1,400 thousand of those on the database who never have been charged with a crime. Britain is okay.
Okay, so crime fighting technology, so talking about crime fighting, okay, is getting more sophisticated and rightly so. The police need to be equipped for the 21st century. So that means many years ago, the police didn't know how to deal with crime fighting technology. Okay, when people do crime via computers. In Britain, we've already got the world's biggest DNA database. So they have discovered everything about it. By next year, the state will have access to the genetic data of 4.25 million people. One British-based person in 14. Hundreds of thousands of those on the database will never have been charged with a crime. So there's going to be a lot of people who's going to be charged, but there are also a lot of people who's not going to commit the crime. Okay, so now we know what it is about. It's about crime fighting technology. Now, can you read for us passage B?
Britain is also reported to have more than 4 million CCTV closed-circuit television cameras, there is a continuing debate about the effectiveness of CCTV. Some evidence suggests that it is helpful in reducing shoplifting and car crime. It has also been used to successfully identify terrorists in murders. However, many claim that data lighting is just as effective to prevent crime and that cameras could displace crime. A international police report said that only one crime was solved for every 1,000 cameras. In London, in 2007, in short, there's conflicting evidence about the effectiveness of cameras, so it is likely that the debate will be continued.
Oh, so what is passage B about?
They said that cameras make could help us to solve the crime, but also the lighting was bad, it could be bad because we don't see clearly.
Well done, Jamie. That was excellent. Okay, so let's see what is passage C about. Professor Mike Press.
Professor Mike Press, who has spent the past decade studying how design can contribute to crime reduction, said that in order for CCTV to have an effect, it must be used in a targeted way. For people, a scheme in Manchester record every license plate on the entrance of a shopping complex and alert police when one is found to belong to an untaxed or stolen car. This is an effective example of monitoring, he said. Most schemes that simply record these sensors continually, often not being watched, do not produce results. CCTV can also have the opposite effect of that intended. By giving citizens a false sense of security and encourage them to be careless with property and personal safety, professionals press said. All the evidence suggests that CCTV alone makes no positive impact on crime reduction and prevention at all. The weight of evidence should suggest investment is more or less a waste of money unless you have lots of other things in place. He believes that much of the increase is driven by the marketing effort of security companies to promote the crime reducing benefit of their product. He described it as a lazy approach to crime prevention and said the authorities should instead be focusing on how to alter the environment to reduce crime.
So what is passage C about?
Amy is about the Professor Mike Press studying about the cameras in the crime scene, and he described it as lazy approach to crime prevention. And he said to authorities that he he said that authorities should instead be focusing on how to alter the environment to reduce crime.
And does it think some of the CCTV cameras doesn't really do justice, doesn't really work, or doesn't help?
So
Yeah, so giving citizens a false sense of security and encouraging them to be careless with property and personal stuff. Okay, well done. Now, let's see what is passage D about. Can you read that for us?
but in reality, this is not what is happening. Instead of police considering using more technology, police forces have recently begun experimenting with cameras in their helmets. The footage will be stored on police computer, along with the footage from thousands of CCTV cameras and a million pictures from number plate recognition cameras used increasingly to check up motorists.
Motorists. Okay, so what is passage E about?
Um, is is that per- the Professor Mike is wrong because in reality is not what are happening for his opinion. Instead, the police are considering using more technologies and have recently begun experimenting with cameras in their helmets, and all of those footage will be stored in the police computer, along
Yes,
with the
so the
footage.
police are going to make definite use of it. Okay, perfect. And then did you say what is passage E about?
And now another type of technology is being introduced. It's called a microtron and is a toy-sized remote control craft that hovers above the streets or crowds to film what's going on beneath. The microtron has already have been used to monitor a rock festival, but its suppliers also have been in discussion to supply it to the Metropolitan Police and SOCA, the Sears Organized Crime Agency. The drones are small enough to be unnoticed by people on the ground when they are flying at 350 feet. They contain high resolution video surveillance equipment and an infrared night vision
Infrared, infrared night vision.
infrared night vision capability. Also, even in darkness, they give the operator a bird-eye view of location while remaining virtually undetectable.
Undetectable, yeah. So what is passage E about? Another?
They also introduced another type of technology, and it's called a microdrone. It's a toy-sized remote control craft that hover above street or crowd, and they will film everything they see in the border.
Ah, yes. Do you think that will help the police?
So
Yeah, because now they can look from a point from that view without actually moving around. Well done. Okay, the last passage, passage F. Can you read that for us?
the worrying thing is who will get access to this technology. The Merseyside police um already employing two of the devices as part of pilot scheme to watch the football crowds in the city parks looking for antisocial behavior. It is not just about crime detection, but Midland Fire Brigade is about to release a drone, for example, to get a better view of fire and flood skin and a rescue attempt. The Environment Agency is considering the use for monitoring of illegal fly tipping and oil spill. The company that makes the drone says it has no plans to license the equipment to individual or private companies, which hopefully will prevent private security firms from getting their hands on them. But what about local authority? In theory, this technology could be used against murderers and there will be surveillance society and already there are plans to introduce smart water containing unique DNA code identifier that when spread on suspect will cling to the clothes and skin and allow officers to identify them later. As long as high-tech tools are being used in the fight against crime and terrorism, fine, but if it's another weapon to be used in the piracy, then we don't want it.
Okay, so what is passage F about?
It's the about people who weren't think that who will access to this technology, and the Merseyside police are already employing two of the devices as part of pilot scheme towards football crowds. So so people are happy that the crime are getting solved, but if there is evidence you can use in their privacy, then they all don't want it. So to speak.
Well done. Okay, so Jenny, let's have a look at some glossary here. Okay, I just want to quickly do this. So a drone is a remote control pilotless aircraft where they basically you know what is a drone?
Yeah.
350 feet, about 170 meters. A bird's eye view means a view from above. Fly tipping, illegally dumping waste. Okay. So fly tipping means illegally dumping waste. Okay, now, so from passage 3 has 6 paragraphs A to F. Choose the most suitable headings for paragraph B to F from the list of the headings below. Write the appropriate number. Okay. There are more headings than paragraphs, so you will not use all of them. Okay. So, list of the headings. So, number 1, we have the spy in the sky. Number 2, the spread of technology. 3, the limitations of cameras. 4, the cost of cameras. 5, robots solving serious crimes. 6, lack of conclusive evidence. 7, we have cars and cameras. 8, advantages and disadvantages. 9, a natural progression. And 10, a feeling of safety. Okay, so which one out of these would you choose for paragraph B? Okay, so you remember paragraph B? Okay, do you want to quickly read through it by yourself?
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, perfect. So B, what would you say? Which one?
Lack of conclusive evidence.
Yes, well done, Jenny. That was excellent. Okay, now let's look at paragraph C. Okay, so what would you say for paragraph C? I'm just going to give you briefly a second again to read through it.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so which one would you say? All about CCTV.
Yeah, but also
what they can and cannot do.
a feeling of safety. Or is it advantage and disadvantage?
So in this case, it's going to be the limitations of the cameras because they don't do everything they need to do.
I thought that cameras don't. Okay, never.
Okay, does it make sense? So
Yeah.
if you look at this one, so in order for CCTV to have an effect, it must be used in targeted way. Okay, so most schemes that simply record do not produce results. Okay, so CCTV can also have the opposite effect intended. Okay, so it's also telling us what it cannot do, so telling us about the limitations. Okay, so Jenny, we're gonna stop here. Okay, was the exercise you did with me a little bit better than yesterday?
I mean, sure.
Okay. What I like about it is you understood better what you've read about. That was really, really good. So what I would like you to do is, Jenny, do the homework I sent you yesterday. Go through that again. So you will see why we came to those answers. Okay. And then you send me the homework. And then we're going to finish off the exam on Thursday. So Jenny, you must have a great day. It was lovely seeing you. And well done. I'm very proud of you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye, Jenny.
Have a great day.